Hey, how you guys doing today? This is Felonious Bitcoin here. The date today is August 22nd, 2019. I'm coming at you guys with this video today to give proof to you and credit to the person that deserves it, or I guess you could say the group of people that deserve it, for the invention of Bitcoin and the SHA-256 algorithm. So we'll get into that in just a minute. Alright, so guys, I was able to do some research, a little bit of digging. This took a little bit of legwork. This isn't something that you can find readily on the internet. It's going to take some time and some digging to get to the bottom of it. But I was able to do that, and I believe that this is the first time that anybody has heard anything about this or who this person is. So I'm going to just go over with you guys who Satoshi Nakamoto is. Real quick. So I was looking online through patents and whatnot, and I stumbled across this one in particular that really stuck out to me. So I decided to look into it. You know, curiosity hopefully doesn't kill the cat in this case, you know. But the patent number 6829355 is one that you guys might want to look into. So if you can, just give it a simple Google search and you'll be able to come across you know, all the information of the SHA-256 and the algorithm and who owns the patent to that. You know, it's kind of obvious that people, you know, governments throughout history, they like to keep control, right? And when they start to lose control, the most important thing to them is to retain control, you know, through these tough times. So what they'll do is they'll misdirect and mislead people into thinking it's not really them. You know, they'll make you think, oh, you know, it's a criminal organization that's doing this, that goes against the government. But that's not the case now, is it? Because if you look and you see all the regulations that surround cryptos today, you'll see that they're getting more and more strict, more and more into people's business, finding out more and more information about people. You gotta, you know, go on to these exchanges, you have to give out all this information, and what do you think these people do with it? Do you think they just hang on to it just in case something bad happens, or do you think they hand it over to the federal government when they're requested to give it over? You know, I'm going for the latter on this one. But anyways, yeah, patent number 6829355 is what you guys want to look into. And on this patent, it's a device for and method of one-way cryptographic hashing. You know, so there's your answer right there. The inventor, line 75, Glenn M. Lilly of Sykesville, Maryland. And get this, you want to know who he works for? National Security Agency. It's funny, right? But anyways, the assignee, line 73, is the United States of America as represented by the United States National Security Agency out of Washington, D.C. Are you guys still wondering who Satoshi Nakamoto is? Because I just told you. Yeah, Glenn M. Lilly works for the NSA. He's the person that supposedly took credit for Satoshi's work. Not going to say anything bad about these criminals, but I can tell you that they don't have any respect for intellectual property, and they will take it, package it as their own, and use it however they see fit. So when you guys go and you expect to have some sort of anonymity with this, or you're not going to be tracked or taxed or trapped into doing something that you don't want to do, I'm telling you right now that if you use this system, Bitcoin, you're going to end up a slave, a debt slave, a slave to the slave masters, which would be the federal government, right? So you want to stay away from that. And keeping in mind that this patent was filed 8 years before Bitcoin had its brand name. March 5th, 2001 was the date that the paperwork was filed. It took a lot of digging for me to get to this information, and I'm not expecting that you guys will get to it that easily, but if you do happen to come across the actual patent with all the paperwork, which I'm going to share with you guys at the end of this video, but I just thought it would be important to share with you, you know, on camera, this person's name. I also have his address, his phone number, his wife's name, you know, obviously where he works, his age, his date of birth. I have all his personal information, just like I'm sure he has on me. So, you know, what happens when you start to spy on your government to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing? You know, did they come in and, you know, silence you? Did they, you know, Jeffrey Epstein you? Is that what they do? Like, because that's what it seems like. So hopefully I don't get disappeared after this video goes live. But I just want to see this country succeed. I want to see the free market decide what money is. I don't want to see a payment system where people are forced to use something with the threat of a gun or being locked in a cage, because that's not a free market. That's a manipulated market under the direction of criminals. That's honestly what it is. You know, you can write laws to say whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, but that doesn't stop you from being a criminal organization, you know, when you write these laws that benefit this side but not that side, you know. So you really have to watch out for these people, and this is just one of the ways that they'll do it. You know, they're introducing in a couple of years FedNow or FedCoin, whatever you want to call it. So, and they know, these people, government means mind control. Govern means control, and ment means of the mind. Control or direct of the mind. Anyways, I digress. But long story short, these governments know how masses of people are going to react under certain conditions. You know what I mean? They've done simulations on this. They know. But what I'm telling you right now is don't fall for this trap. You know what I mean? You're going to be bait and switch. That's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to be presented with FedCoin, which nobody is going to take kindly to, because everybody knows that the government crashed this economy purposefully, intentionally, globally, to retain control. So people are not going to take kindly to this FedCoin. So what they'll have in the background here, and people are going to realize this, is they're going to remember, oh, the media told me about Bitcoin, you know, this thing that only criminals use, right? And that kind of circumvents the government, but it doesn't. You know, they give you the illusion, the idea that it's sheltered from the government, but it's not. They actually can track everything that you do on the public ledger that's always there, that's never erased and never changes. So keep that in mind, you know. And then you have all these regulations coming out telling these exchanges that they have to hand over identifiable information about their customers. So that's not a free market, you know what I mean? There's no person-to-person transaction there. There's no discretion, you know what I mean? Cash, gold, silver, things like that. That's how you're going to get the most anonymity possible. You want to stick to precious metals. I'm not advocating here. I have nothing to gain by promoting precious metals. This is money. This has been money for thousands of years. Cryptocurrency is a new invention, you know, and it's always shown off by the media as this thing that, you know, governments can't track it, they can't trace it, only the criminals use it. So the internet was the same way, and look at what they did with the internet. The internet was designed by the United States military, the United States Navy to be more precise, for secured communications, but instead they came up with a better idea. Let's just pay attention to what everybody's doing on this invention of ours, right? So that way they can build profiles about people, track people, what they're doing, what they're searching for, what they're buying, things like that through their debit or credit cards, right? So now they're trying to push for this cashless society where there's no dollars, it's just bitcoins, right? Or a cryptocurrency form, any cryptocurrency. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, Monero, Dash, Litecoin, anything. It doesn't matter, because you know something? They've already reverse engineered this. I can tell you that for 100% fact that they've already reverse engineered this. So you want to stay away from it. But yeah, going back to the topic here, yeah, I'm gonna show you guys on screen the entire PDF format of this patent. That way you guys can download it. I'm going to put it in the description, so feel free to check that out. And I came across this today. I figured, I might as well sit on this information for a little while, but I've been getting a little upset and irritated lately with the things that they've been up to. So I just thought it might be pertinent to let you guys know what's really going on behind the scenes. And the NSA is in control of Bitcoin now. It wasn't always like that. I know, because I'm not going to give any information out on that, but I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. My name is Matt. I live in New Bedford, Massachusetts. My old business, I used to hack cable modems. I used to reverse cable modem firmware, so that way end users could change their MAC address, serial number, and config file at will, where they would be able to bypass the DOCSIS system, the security measures that it has, and people would be able to get online untraceable internet access. And there's a point to that, you know what I mean? Because the free market, you know what I mean? If we have a free market, I should have never been arrested by the FBI. That's the first point I'm going to make. The second point is, if we had a free market, they should have never made a big deal about it. You know what I mean? They should have just allowed the competition to take place. But they don't do that, do they? They have to have a monopoly over everything. And I thought monopolies were illegal. That's what they tell us. But what are they out there doing? They're not practicing what they preach. So how can you take a government organization that seriously when they're not doing as they say? That's the one thing that I have a problem with. If you're going to tell me not to do something, but then you go and do it yourself, I think there's a big problem there. It's like telling me, don't cheat on my girlfriend while you're out there cheating on your wife. It doesn't make sense. Don't tell people this. That's my point. And I feel like it's my duty to humanity to release this information, to make it known to the public, you know what I mean? Because I'm not expecting anything in return for this. I just want people to know the truth about where Bitcoin is going over the last couple of years. And it's in the hands of this criminal organization known as the NSA that works for a bigger criminal organization, which is the United States government. And then on top of that, you have the International Monetary Fund, the banks that run it, the families that run them. And it's a corrupt pyramid scheme, and it's not going to stop unless people start to wake up and understand what's really going on. So that's my purpose here today. So anyways, I'm going to get right into who Satoshi Nakamoto is, or the person that stole Satoshi's work. His name is Glenn M. Lilly. He lives in Sykesville, Maryland. He works for the National Security Agency. His phone numbers, I'm not going to give his phone number out, but I do have it. I plan on calling him up and, saying a few words to him. But he lives at 5617 Allel Court in Sykesville, Maryland. So if you guys want to stop by, I'd be like, hey, Satoshi, what's up? See what he has to say about that. Chances are, if you do show up and you mention Bitcoin with his name in the same sentence, you're probably going to get disappeared like Epstein. So be careful with that. But yeah, this guy, he's 55 years old, and I think he's originally from Kentucky. I'm not too sure, but I can do a little bit more digging into that. But this was all under the direction of the National Security Agency. So this guy wasn't just working at the NSA and, went rogue and decided to do the right thing by people by creating this, or by stealing somebody else's work and then patenting it. Because like any greedy criminal in history, they're always going to take credit for what they've done. You know what I mean? Either directly or indirectly, and that's exactly what he did. He directly put his name into the patent. You know what I mean? How are you going to stop? If it was your invention, wouldn't you want to take some sort of credit for it? So that's what I'm saying. This guy took credit, and under the guise of the NSA. So, they're going to offer you Fedcoin or Bitcoin, and they're both the same. One's just red, one's blue. One's red and one's blue, and you happen to like red better. It's no different. You're going to be tracked, you're going to be traced, you're going to be taxed, you're going to be trapped, and there's not going to be anything that you can do about it. That's the mark of the beast system. That's the whole idea behind crashing the economy worldwide, is to get everybody onto a cashless payment system. Don't you guys get it? You know, how much more do I have to try to convince you? You know what I mean? You can go find this information out for yourselves. You know, I'm passionate about my children having some sort of economic freedom when they get older, you know, which I'm sure that's what you guys want. You know, you don't want to have to be debt slaves and then your children and then your grandchildren have to pay off a debt from previous generations. That doesn't even make sense. You know, especially when the people responsible are the same people coming up with these solutions. When they're not real solutions, they're coming up with excuses instead of letting the free market decide what money is. They're still going to have guns. They're still going to have laws. They're going to still tell you what to do. They're still going to tax you on everything that you do. You're going to be taxed more than you thought you would before. You know, you thought it was bad now or before. No, it's going to get a lot worse. You think slavery ended? No, it just encompassed everybody. So you want to try to get away from that. I'm saying this as a favor to humanity because you cannot continue down this road and expect good results when you hand power over to governments, when they've abused their power, they've lied about what it is they're doing, and they're just trying to further control and dominate. You know, there has to be some sort of independent party that oversees what the government is doing without having any kind of monetary influence over them. You know, it needs to be a panel of people, independent people that are not bought and paid for, people that come from all walks of life, and people that are honest. You know what I mean? That's how you keep an honest payment system, is by introducing a committee of people that cannot be bought. You know, and that's what you need to look for. People like Ron Paul, for example, people that advocate for the gold standard, because there's no debt tied to gold. You know what I mean? It's a no counterparty risk asset, and that is the safest thing to stick to. Ancient Egyptians lasted thousands of years on that single monetary system without any changes. So, you know, if they were able to do it, why can't we do that today? You know what I mean? We've had this money for thousands of years, since a supernova exploded. That's how gold is created, by a supernova exploding. You know, you have two neutron stars that collide and then they explode, causing a supernova. And that's how heavy metals, gold, lead, a couple other ones are produced, is in these explosions. And it's rare. So, you know, this is money. This is what God decided was money, not what a government decided. This is what the governments are trying to get in possession for your hard work, your labor, your time, your energy. They're going to extract all the gold and they're going to issue you cryptocurrency or paper dollars or anything but gold and silver. You know, if you look back throughout history, the government, what they did, the Roman Empire, was they debased their metals, their coinage, with zinc and other filler metals when their economy started collapsing. So that's kind of like what the United States started doing in the 1964 time period, was we stopped seeing silver in our coins and now we have zinc coins. But if you go back pre-1964 and you go get a quarter from pre-1964, I'll bet you $100 you'll find silver in it. Not today. You won't find silver anywhere in any of the coins that are circulating, because people know that silver is worth money. That is money. You know, you guys have been brainwashed over time into thinking that that's not money, but it is. And it always has been, and it always will be, no matter what the governments tell you is money. So that's very important to keep in mind. But anyways, this video has gone on for way too long. Yeah, my background is in cryptography, in firmware development, reverse engineering, and things like that. So I thought it might be important to people for you guys to know this information. Share this video, like this video. I would really appreciate it. It is the truth. I'm going to show you guys, you guys will be able to download the PDF, go through everything, cross-reference everything. And I'm telling you right now, Craig Wright, that's just a misdirection tactic to take your focus off of the NSA inventing this, or the NSA's involvement in changing what the original intention was. So that's all I have to say about that, and I hope you guys enjoy my content, and I look forward to bringing you guys more videos in the future. Stay safe, and God bless you all. Take care.
Brother was caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire.